Restaurant Unstoppable. Inspire, empower, and transform the industry. So we've been pretty granular up to this point. Let's zoom up to 30,000 feet real quick. Okay. So you open Barcelona Wine Bar in 1996. Mm-hmm. You open Bar Taco in 2010, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what happened? Take us through in a minute or 2 minutes. We opened the growth of the business.
Yeah, it doesn't grow like that, right? So we opened Barcelona in 96. We took us a year. We were losing money. It looked like the scenes from from Big Night. You'd stand outside the door, and there'd be a Japanese place across the street, and they were full, and we were empty, and it was just a lot of Sasha would call his friends, and he had a lot of friends, and say, "I want everyone to come down on Thursday, and I'll buy you all drinks," just to fill the place.
It's my intention to really pull back the layers and how you guys went from the first year to not really being worried to where you were in 2010, but just paint the picture of what happened.
So in 98, we were doing well, and we decided, we'll do another restaurant, and we took over a spot. It was a fancy Italian restaurant. Had a great chef. It was behind a theater, so you couldn't really see it very well, and the parking lot was full when the theater was full. But we figured it was a great restaurant, and didn't matter, people would come. And we were wrong. It was a crappy location, and they didn't come, or they did come, and there was no parking. And around the same time, other people came to us and said, we'd love to give you money to open a restaurant in Greenwich and, get the best chef out of New York and do something fantastic. So I thought that was a bad idea, but Sasha and another partner went and did that. So we had all these going at once, and they both failed.
The Italian restaurant and the other project.
They both failed, yeah. And so we lost all our investors' money in the Italian one, and then the other one was just hemorrhaging cash. And Sasha and the partner came to me and said, I know you don't want anything to do with this restaurant, but can you help? And I said, I'll help if you get rid of that partner and you fire the chef, because I've been telling you forever that he's an asshole and he's not as good as you think he is. And so they did. And so we went and raised money and said, hey, we're opening our second Barcelona. We're going to take this restaurant, and for $250,000, we're going to change all the matchbooks and the menus, and it's going to be Barcelona number 2. And that was a slog. So we had to sort of recap it and give people more equity in it, but we couldn't think of anything else to do, right? We just couldn't. If we had just gone belly up with this thing in Westport, we couldn't do it again in Greenwich. We just couldn't afford it. So we, on a dime, we turned it into Barcelona number 2. Reopened it on September 11th, 2001, which was promptly closed it again. Opened it, the next day because people were staying home from New York and didn't know what to do with themselves. So we reopened it, had a nice bar, and it was full. And within 6 months, we had paid back most of the debt from the
partnership that dissolved.
From the partnership that dissolved. And by the end of the first year, we were making money, and people liked Barcelona. So now there was one in Norwalk and one in Greenwich. And we thought, okay, well, we're not geniuses, but this means something.
Yeah.
So in answer to your 30,000-foot view, a few years later, we got offered a nice spot to do something, and we said, okay, we'll do another Barcelona there. And that's what we did. Every couple of years, we would make enough money to borrow half and put up half from cash flow and do another Barcelona. So by 2008, we had 6 Barcelonas. We had, Norwalk, Greenwich, Fairfield, West Hartford, New Haven, and then we opened Stamford. So we had 6 Barcelonas. And at some point during that process, we had decided that the way to do this would just be to form a Barcelona Restaurant Corp. Who's, and stick...
Barteca?
Yeah. No, just Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah. And stick a little money in the bank and use it to keep opening Barcelonas. And then I needed to have a real accountant, and I needed to sit down with him and say, what does this look like? How do you, and so he showed me how to pro forma, the growth of it. We didn't really know where it was going, but we knew that if we raised still more money, that we had a lot of people to pay back, and so we would have to grow this at some point. We didn't really know how you got out of that, but yeah. And that got to about 2008.